Welcome back to the Speed Art series where I draw my eras from Persona Project as various medias from my childhood. Check out the previous video where we drew all of the eras as Littlest Pet Shops. And for this one, we're going to be drawing all of the eras as Animal Jam characters. Yes, Animal Jam was one of my favorite online childhood games of all time, and I'm very excited to jump into this one. This will be my second attempt at doing a lineless art style, and I'm going to try a completely different method than I used before, so I'm very eager to see how it turns out. Wild Child is my first era, so she is going to be up first. It was very hard choosing an animal for her. I was actually stuck between the sea turtle, the seal, the otter, and also the pig. I thought that all of those would be really cute and adorable animals that would fit her very well, but I decided in the end to go with the sea turtle just because I think I view myself more as aquatic in my childhood. I spent most of my life in water as a kid, so I think that it makes the most sense if Wild Child is a purely aquatic creature rather than a semi-aquatic creature, since some of the options in Animal Jam can allow you to be different kind of animals, whether they be fully aquatic, semi-aquatic, or only on land. So this one is fully aquatic. Despite her being aquatic, I still really wanted to include that little yellow butterfly. There's something very symbolic about that little yellow butterfly that used to follow me around everywhere throughout my life. I remember I would just see it from time to time, and it's like a very important symbol of my childhood. Butterflies overall represent change, metamorphosis, growth. They obviously go through one of the most insane life changes as their stages develop from caterpillar to butterfly, and so I feel like there's like a whole lot of amazing symbolism between that and just me and my childhood and how everything went down and the metamorphosis I went under as a person. So that's why I really want to include the butterfly. Pretty much everywhere you see when I talk about my childhood, there's going to be that butterfly fluttering in the background of Persona Project. And this is going to be no different. We're just going to have to say this butterfly can magically survive underwater. It's just going to be a magical water butterfly. Don't think too hard about it, because the Animal Jam pets are literally some of the most adorable things I've ever seen in my entire life, and I was going to cry if I didn't at least include one pet. I tried to pick at least 3 accessories for each one of my eras to put on them that kind of match their personality, but for Wild Child there isn't like a super lot of great underwater accessories in my opinion. I just never really cared for them, so I picked something from the Summer Carnival, which was one of my absolute favorite events from the game. It's basically just every summer there's a carnival and you get to play games and collect tickets and get special prizes, and most of those prizes were in fact plushies, which is probably why I was very obsessed. And this star hat I thought would be really perfect because it's just Wild Child's color palette and it has little stars. It's really adorable. I thought it would also be a nice little nod to Blackbird, which is the next era, and it kind of has those dangling kind of braids on the sides. It kind of ties them together as both my inner children. I thought that was really cool too. But overall, the color palette was really easy. I just used Wild Child's colors and freckles, little spots, tried to make them big and blocky just to match that Animal Jam art style. And I gave her big puffy cheeks because it's just nothing without it. It actually looks really good on the turtle, honestly. And then the shell, I initially had it as yellow, but towards the end here you'll see I actually changed it to green because I kind of wanted to match her hair. At first I thought it'd be really cool if it was yellow, and then I tried orange and I was like, oh, these are really nice. But then I thought, oh, maybe it's too much orange. It kind of takes away from her cheeks a little bit. So I wanted to make it that really nice dark green that matches her hair instead. I thought that fit just a lot better. Overall, trying to do a lineless art style in this kind of way was much easier than my method I did last time. Last time I basically did line art and then colored over the line art layer very meticulously, and it took way too long. But this time I kind of put my sketch layer on top and then did big blocky shapes and kind of blocked it off in that kind of way underneath the sketch, and honestly just took a little bit of touch up and it turned out beautiful. So this is my little sea turtle Wild Child from Animal Jam. I think I nailed the art style very well. I'm trying to mimic the promotional art. Obviously you can see that I'm heavily referencing that, and I think I did a stellar job. That butterfly looks like I copy and pasted it out of the game, but I drew that. It's so awesome. I think this is perfect. And even though Wild Child only has one accessory, she does have the only pet in this entire video, so I think that she'd be very happy with this despite everything. Era number 2 is Blackbird. She's my preteen self. There was a lot of birds to choose from. Obviously Animal Jam has a wide variety of either extinct animals or endangered animals, and they try to raise awareness about them. And there's a lot of amazing birds, but Unfortunately, some of those birds were owls, and I'm not a huge fan of those. And I really wanted to pick a smaller bird, and I didn't want to go with the eagle. The eagle looks very fierce, and while Blackbird is very fierce, of course, it's just a little too, like, big and bulky. I really wanted something a little bit smaller to represent that this is a child. And the falcon was just maybe a little too stubby and stout for me, but the flamingo was kind of the perfect range to go, yeah, this is like a preteen. So that was basically how I chose the bird. The flamingo is also a really nice animal. Also, my brother helped me choose these because he's an Animal Jam expert. The flamingo is one of his favorite animals, so I knew that he was going to say that. So I mostly did this to please my brother, so you're welcome, Evan. He really wanted it to be a flamingo and not the falcon. So that's why I made the decision for that. And then I just made it a very bright blue. I didn't want to include any patterns just because the baseline flamingo pattern kind of looks like a mask already, so I just did a lighter version of that for Blackbird's mask. Orange features for her feet, and then of course the black hair is kind of the black beak now. For her accessories, my favorite accessory in the entire game is the aviator hat. It's not really anything special or rare per se, it's just something that I really, really love. All of the color palettes that these things come in are phenomenal. And I started out using just the basic brown color palette, but I kind of looked at all the other accessories in the overall color palette for Blackbird and thought, maybe that doesn't really match. So I went back later in the video, you'll see I actually went back and turned it to blue and orange because I thought that would fit just a little bit better with Blackbird. And it was kind of difficult layering everything together, having to figure out what goes behind what, and it was just a lot of layers behind the scenes, but once I got it all collapsed and I could move it all around freely, and it turned out really, really good. You can see where I was working on the little bandana, which this was, by the way, one of my favorite items too. It was this basically fan-made item of this bandana that kind of flows in the wind. I have this on pretty much every single character, like no lie, every character I have in Animal Jam pretty much has this ribbon scarf. It is one of my favorite things for no apparent reason. It just ties everything together, you know? They also tend to make some of the scarves, like the holiday scarves, the Valentine scarves, they tend to be rare as heck, and people kind of upcharge for it when the trading system in the game. Which, sidebar, if you know nothing about Animal Jam, I do apologize for how much I'm going to be saying out of context that will make zero sense to you. Just know that this game has an insane economy and trading system that is literally so ruthless and full of scammers and full of inflation and all kinds of insane economic shit that should not exist in a child's game. Just trust me when I say this game, it gets intense if you were on like the trading side of everything, with the value of items and betas and all this stuff. Oh my god, just trust me. You don't need the full context to know what is rare and what is not. I will try my best to explain, thank you. The bow and arrow was honestly a really cool item too, but this one in particular, the neon bows, were obviously pretty rare back in the day. We thought that they were like one of the coolest things because it was a really interesting color palette that not a lot of people had, and a lot of these rare items, or what was deemed rare by the community or whoever was playing at the time, because like the value of things definitely changed depending on what was made popular by kids while we're playing the game. So like, yeah, like bow and arrow in my day was like super rare. There was rare gloves, there was fox hats, those were like some of like the rarest stuff, but nowadays it's like completely different. Like it changed every single year I feel that I played. Like all the rares would just get updated, and then they added in things like, oh, there's den betas and there's clothing betas that are from the beta version of the game that are super rare. There's only so many, and there's promotional items that you have to buy real life products for to get the codes for, and you know, it's just like, it's got that Webkinz feel kind of deal where it's just like some things are just like, it's like pay to win, but also some things are just genuinely rare and hard earned, and you have to trade up and up and up and like grind some of the mini games to like randomly generate rares into the game, like spikes and stuff. I mostly gave her a bow and arrow because towards the end of her era she does learn archery. That is actually something that I picked up right before Parker's era. I started learning archery in about 7th or 8th grade, so I thought it'd be really cool to give her a bow and arrow and kind of nod to that really random hobby I took up at the time, while it's still matching her color palette and, you know, appeasing the fact that she needs to have something rare. Like, she has to be the rarest. So I thought that that would work really well. Overall, I think I did a great job with Blackbird. I love that she's a flamingo. I think that that's really fun and cool. And the blues and the oranges and everything ties together so perfectly well. We gotta love the accessories in this game. They really bring everything together. It's time for my teenage version of myself, who I call Parker. Parker is a firebending anime-loving boy. And I couldn't think of anything more edgy and perfect that would suit him other than than a wolf. The Animal Jam wolf with their big goofy snouts and their little chipped ear and crooked fur patterns. Oh, it was just such a great fit. And every time I played Animal Jam, I never really made a wolf. So this is kind of my first chance at like dressing up a wolf and having a wolf character because I never really had many. My favorite animal from Animal Jam was the koala for sure. I was just a huge koala fan because nobody made koalas. My favorite koala was a brown koala with little mud splatter all over him, and I named him Lucky Jelly Toes, and the only accessory he had was a very basic top hat from the clothing store. And Lucky Jelly Toes was the beginning of my Animal Jam journey, so I have such a soft spot for the koalas. The only other animal I almost chose for Parker was the tiger. It was between the koala, tiger, and wolf. Koala was just on there because that was the main character I played as an Animal Jam, and I played a lot of Animal Jam in my teen years. Mostly because it was something my little brother was doing, and it was just something really fun that we connected over. Even though I was getting older and kind of was growing out of the game, it was still a lot of fun to play with him and help him get all the rares and stuff because he was younger and I was older, so I knew that people were trying to scam him and stuff, and I'd like protect him from them because they were being evil. But yeah, I ended up going with the wolf because they have this wolf only party that happens, and there's basically like a volcano room and you howl at the moon together, and there's like a claw machine there with only wolf plushies inside and stuff. And all I could think about was how much time I would spend going to these very specific parties and how much I wanted to go to the wolf party but refused to make a wolf character for literally no reason because I was like, it's just too edgy and I'm not that edgy. I'm not edgy, guys. And it's like, Parker, yes you are. Just get over it. So this is me embracing the part of Parker that was too embarrassed to embrace it. And I'm really happy about this. It's like a little soul healing for me right now. I just wanted to be edgy like all the cool kids. I could go to the wolf party, okay? And now I'm going to the wolf party. This is my wolf party. Everybody's invited. Everyone's invited. Everyone who's watching, you're invited to my Animal Jam wolf party, okay? So obviously, yes, the nerd glasses. I actually got a really rare version of these nerd glasses. There's like a very distinct color variant. I'm pretty sure I had the one that was more rare, which I think was white. So I remember it being like, I was like, oh, I have the nerd glasses, but I have the little bridge of the nose is white on mine, meaning that it is rare. And I don't know why the items were like this game. It was just so cutthroat about what was worth what. So I had to make sure I had that detail because I was like, yes, I had the rare nerd glasses, and that would just be so perfect for Parker. And then I chose a little heart scarf. One of my favorite seasonal events was the little Valentine's Day letter maze, where you just kind of go around and collect little Valentine's Day themed things and unlock items and stuff, and it was really fun, and I just loved running around aimlessly and just collecting things. I'm just a little collector at heart, you know? And the Valentine's items are so adorable. Valentine's Day has like the most adorable color palette on this planet. I literally love Valentine's Day colors more than anything, genuinely. So I included that along with a heart locket. And technically you can't wear two necklace items at once, but the heart locket is so important to me. During Parker's era, I was writing a book called The Rebels, and essentially it had a lot to do with keys and locks. Old keys and lockets was kind of a big motif of the book. And to have this little heart locket, I feel means so much to me and Parker because the book I was writing was heavily centered around that. And at the time, heart lockets were actually really rare, and if you completed the whole Valentine's event, everybody was trying to get their hands on like the friendship locket because all of the items were like friendship themed for Valentine's Day, and the Valentine's Day locket was like the supreme item. It was like that and Cupid wings. There was like these ugly inflatable like Cupid wings that everybody was like obsessed with. I hated them. I didn't care for that. I just wanted the friendship locket because I thought the lockets were really important to me in Parker's era. And I collected all of them. I collected every locket there was in the game. But I decided to make him wear both because they both have a lot of meaning to me, and Parker is always wearing that scarf in my Persona project, so I thought that'd be perfect too. I added a couple tiny freckles, but only on the cream color of the paws and stuff because I thought that would be really Animal Jam core, and it actually ended up working out pretty perfectly. And with that, I think Parker is complete. This fiery orange little wolf with like the saddest little eyes. Just an emo little wolf. Just a nerd. I'm just a nerd who wears scarves and lockets. I don't really care about the rares. I just want to go to parties and howl at the moon. Just let Parker be Parker, guys. I'm so happy to heal this little part of Parker and allow him to finally be an Animal Jam wolf like he always wanted to. Moving on to Hawley era, she represents my young adult self, my college self. And honestly, whenever I would revisit Animal Jam for nostalgic purposes during Hawley's era, era, I would always play as an Arctic wolf, and that was the most basic thing I think I've ever done in my entire life. Like, nothing screams basic girly on Animal Jam than playing as a girl Arctic wolf with a backwards hat and one of those stupid spikes and standing in the middle of Jama Central and dancing and going, "Come have a fashion show at my den, winner gets a prize." And it was just, that was all Hawley would do on this damn game, was do fashion shows. Like, I was obsessed with everyone's little fashion shows. It was just something people would do where you would go to their dens and they would host their own thing where they say the theme is vegetable, and then you have to dress up as like a vegetable, and then they would vote on, oh, okay, this person has the best one, you win a prize, and then they'd like gift you a little prize. It was just like, we'd make up our own games in the game, which is honestly really awesome and like super cool, and I love the community aspect of that. But most of the time it was like super goddamn rigged, and people would just invite their friends and give their friends all the gifts and then make everybody else feel bad, and it was just like, dang, like the cutthroatness sometimes of Animal Jam was insane. So for that, I decided to give Hawley a very elaborate amount of accessories. In the same vein of healing Parker, I need to heal this part of Hawley too by humbling her and saying, no more Arctic wolf, we're gonna go fox, because the foxes are adorable and they're just a tinier version, and genuinely the fox is one of my favorite animals to play with. I had a little yellow fox that was like my favorite character with an aviator hat, and I would mostly play as him, but if I ever wanted to do fashion shows, I literally thought I wouldn't win unless I was an Arctic wolf. And I'm like, dude, Hawley, no, you can win as a fox, 100%. Like, you need to let go of this like belief right now. Like, you can win as a fox, and you should have played as your favorite character instead of kind of bending to what everybody else was doing. It was very much like a peer pressure thing. So this is me kind of being like, no, I'm not gonna draw her as an Arctic wolf. I'm gonna draw her as her actual favorite, because she kind of like was heavily masking in that social situation to trying to like fit in with everybody else and or like win, and I think that that's kind of sad. So that's why I chose a fox. I chose to keep most of her features that I usually do on like her cat self, but trying to match the Animal Jam, so I kept little dark circles around the eyes. I kind of struggled with like whether I was gonna put stripes or not, and then I decided no, it just didn't look right. Animal Jam doesn't really have that, but I kept her little cheeks nonetheless and made the ears nice and pink and adorable. And then came the difficult part, all of the accessories. My favorite accessory obviously was this little bow, this little Hawley bow. I did have a character that was like Christmas core that I would make and use around the holidays, because the Jamalidays in the game slap so hard. Oh my god, they're so wonderful. I love it so much. Literally almost every Christmas, even to this day, I will always log on Animal Jam just to see the Jamalidays and listen to the music and feel the nostalgia just seep in, and it's just so cozy and fun. So I decided to do the bow on the ear along with bows along the tail, which proved to be pretty challenging to say the least on this pose. I was like, oh my god, I had to like really visualize this, and I kind of struggled. You'll see me struggle. It was a struggle. Nothing compares to the struggle though of this damn sweater. Oh my god, this sweater was sent from hell. I swear to god, this Animal Jam goddamn sweater will go down in history as one of the hardest things I think I've ever had to draw in one of these series. Dear Lord of mercy. Once I decided like how I was gonna tackle this, first of all, the sweater has these stupid pixel snowmen on them, which frustrated me because it doesn't even match like anything about the sweater. There's no like checker pattern or square patterns on the sweater. It's just pixel on there, and like there's these pixel candy canes too, and I'm like, what is going on top of all like the lines and everything? It just looked so clunky, and it was so hard to get right on this promotional art. I couldn't even find a piece of promotional art that had this stupid sweater on it, probably because the artists literally were like, oh yeah, forget that, we're not doing that. Like, they looked at that and they went, oh hell no, and I'm like, wow, I wish I was that smart, because I just powered through. And eventually I think I got it down. I think I just struggled immensely a lot before I realized, oh, I'll just do a line art layer and just do a bunch of stripes and turn the opacity down instead of just doing it all in one layer for some reason. I don't know why I thought I could do that on one layer. I was crazy, okay, but we got through it. We got through it. And through the suffering, out came this really adorable fox for Hawley, and I think I'm so happy with this, and I healed a part of myself of, I don't need to be an Arctic wolf to be loved. I can be my authentic fox self. I think that makes me so happy, and it really ties everything together as an adorable little fox with all of the merry, Christmassy, jolly joy that comes with Hawley. There was no contest when it came to Haley, my adult self. myself, I had to do a rhino. It's the closest thing to a dinosaur. I could have done a crocodile, sure, but the rhinos are so adorable. I remember I had a red rhino with white spots who I had as a little mushroom rhino is what I called them, and I loved that character. I thought they were underrated as heck. I still think they're underrated as heck. And so I decided to make my little dinosaur self into a rhinoceros in Animal Jam. There wasn't really any kind of bucket hats per se in the game. There wasn't really any like sun hats either that kind of matched the vibe I was going for Hawley. There was an adorable sun hat from the Summer Carnival that I thought about doing, but all the color palettes just weren't right, and it was really big, and it probably would have been really strange looking on the rhino's tiny head. So I decided to go with a fox hat because back in my day, the fox hats were worth a lot, and I thought they were really awesome and cool, and I love the little button eyes very much. They're very goofy. So I decided to go with that, and I was thinking about maybe putting a little lemon pin on it, but that's not true to the game. So I was like, okay, fine. It'll just be a navy blue fox hat, and that'll be close enough for me. I went with the Summer Carnival dinosaur accessories. There are these very adorable little Stegosaurus, almost like a backpack, almost like a little back accessory to put little Stegosaurus spikes on their back. And there's also a Stegosaurus tail. And they came in all kinds of colors, but the most common was orange actually, and I believe I still have orange and was collecting all of the dinosaur ones last time I was playing Animal Jam a few years ago. Because, oh my god, again, I can't overstate enough just how much I very much adore the Summer Carnival and all of the items that come with it. Plus, Hawley's just a very summertime era to me. I just have very fond memories of summer with Hawley, of course. So all of that ties together very nicely, and I went ahead and did a bunch of spots and scales and things, but I went that extra mile and kind of did a lot of different color variations and things, and it took a little bit of extra time, but it really makes everything blend together really well and makes the shadows look a lot better. So I actually learned a little thing or two when I was drawing this one, which was awesome. I think out of all of them, this one was the easiest. I think all the shapes were just really easy for me to visualize for whatever reason. The pose was also just really in my comfort zone. Like, I love drawing poses kind of like this, like mid-running is definitely something that I'm really used to drawing. Everything else was just a little bit out of my comfort zone. So I think I just excelled a lot in this one. It was just like boom, 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 I'm done. Like, it was just like the easiest, simplest one for me for whatever reason, which is kind of interesting. I don't really know why. I guess the shapes were just, they're really defined in this one. It was just very triangle, very good, very good. And yes, this is how Hawley turned out. I really love it. I think it's adorable. It literally looks exactly out of the promo posters. I literally, every single time I drew my eras in this video, I just kept getting closer and closer to the Animal Jam style. And I was just so happy about it because I'm finally learning how to emulate other styles more. And it's a skill that I'm so happy to acquire, and I can't wait to use more. Last but not least, we have Robin, which is my current self. I was so stuck on what animal to choose. I could have chosen like anything in the game, I swear, but I ultimately ended up going with a raccoon because that is what I primarily play as nowadays if I play Animal Jam. It's between the hyena and the raccoon usually. Those are like my two favorite animals right now in the game. And I thought the raccoon would be really nice because I could get a lot of those really amazing Robin colors in there, like Robin the bird color into it. So I was like, yes, I'm gonna do a darker mask with the lighter features and it's just gonna look really stellar. And I was right. I was absolutely right. This little raccoon looks like a very adorable little Oreo cookie, and it's so beautiful. I love it very much. Plus it kind of works with like the little like kind of droopy eyes I do for Robin, like this little like kind of sassy look I do, and I think it just worked really well for my current self. Not to mention the stripes and spots combo. I mean, that's kind of my deal too. Even though it is slightly ironic that raccoons have a little mask and I'm unmasked, I just we're not gonna think about that too hard, but I'm not masked anymore. But listen, raccoons are cute. Bottom line, raccoons are cute. That's why we're doing it. For the accessories, I have some very specific ones in mind for my current self. The first one is a black spike. It is a long spike and it is a wristband. All of these things are really important. If you play the game, you know just how goddamn valuable this item is. Any of the black spikes, especially if they're long spikes, there's long and short spikes. It's a whole ordeal. Trust me, spikes are complicated and very annoying to have to navigate, especially especially nowadays. They added way too many. But everyone can still agree the black spike is usually like the top tier like item, especially a long one. And I remember when I got my black long, I was playing the eagle adventure. Yes, there is this little mini game where you fly around as an eagle and you collect gemstones in a desert, and every single time you collect all of the colors of, like, let's say all the yellow ones, you get a chance at a random item from the game, completely random. And sometimes you get den betas, which are really rare, or you get spikes, which are even better. And it was a very, very low chance that you would ever get any of those things. I think I got a total of maybe 4 spikes my entire life from like absolutely grinding that game, playing it for hours and hours and hours, like every single day. Kind of rare. It was definitely like a super low chance, still a chance nonetheless, and it was way more fun for me to, like, I don't know, earn something rather than just trade and like get a bunch of like diamonds and stuff and just trade for it. I thought that was just like so much more fun. That's the random aspect of like, you never know what you're gonna get, and then when you do get it, it is hard earned and it is yours, and it's not something you traded for and you don't have to trade for, because honestly trading in the game sometimes can get really stressful. People get very demanding, there's scammers, it's just like not a very nice environment to do trading with. When I was playing Animal Jam back in the day, it might be a little better now, I'm not quite sure, but I did get my black long from that adventure. Crazy enough, I was doing it with like a random group of people. We got all of like the pond diamonds, it was like the blue ones, and then it popped up on the screen. We opened the little gift and it was the black spike, and the messages that went into that chat were all just keyboard smashing. We were freaking out. We were like, oh my god, we just got black spikes, every single one of us, because all the prizes were linked, like we'd all get the same thing, and we were freaking the hell out, and we were just like, oh my god, like we were so excited, dude. We got that black spike, and it was like one of the most monumental moments of my Animal Jam journey, and I wore it forever, and I vowed to never trade it, because I was like, I worked so hard for this thing. And I remember my brother was so mad. My brother was so jealous because he wasn't a part of that mission, like he didn't get one because he was doing something else or just wasn't playing at the time. And yeah, I never heard the end of that one. The other items don't really have that much of a story other than this little winged collar is something that I put on a lot of my animals. I really think this is a really stellar item that you can get for diamonds. And I really wanted to put wings on Robin because I didn't want to pick a bird like I did with Blackbird. For whatever reason, I was like, you know what, no, I want to choose something different. I want to choose it. There's so many animals to choose from. So whatever animal I chose, I knew it wasn't gonna have wings, but I knew that I had this winged collar that I really adored that I could use to kind of put wings on Robin anyways. And I think it's kind of symbolic in a way that the wings are mechanical. It's like I had to learn to fly by other means, and that's really cool, and I think that's really awesome. And it really kind of suits like my whole entire life story, honestly, because everybody knows I have broken wings, but this still enables me to fly, and I still found ways to fly. On the tail, I decided to go for the little promotional item. It was this paintbrush. I don't think I've really seen this very much. I think I've maybe seen it twice my entire life. Like this is kind of a rare thing for sure. I don't entirely remember what item it comes from. I know it is just a paid promotional item, but paintbrush is just really, really perfect. The color palette was like really off though, so I did change it. This color palette doesn't exist in the game, unfortunately, but I did change it just for the sake of this art looking slightly better, because that purple was god awful. Just did not match a single thing I had going on here, so I just changed it to green because green is like my favorite color. Green, orange, and yellow are my favorite colors right now. And with that, that is my little Robin the raccoon. Oh, isn't that so perfect? I think this is so great. It might seem like a random assortment of items to anyone else, but to me, all of these items are really important and I love them. Just the fact that there's an artist tail, because I literally have gone a full-time YouTuber this year, really suits Robin to a T. And that concludes all of my eras as Animal Jam characters. I believe this is one of the strongest videos I've done for this series yet. I really have gotten a great understanding of lineless art between the Littlest Pet Shop video and this one. Oh yeah, I've got lineless art under my belt for sure, and I am getting so much better by the day at mimicking other art styles. This is genuinely a skill I've been wanting to work on for a while. As a self-taught artist, I literally sealed myself away for many weeks while creating my own art style because I wanted it to be my authentic art style, me. But when that happened, I literally didn't have any other references or any other points to look at when it came to art, and I really struggled to mimic other art styles a lot of the time because I'm just so used to my own art style, and I'm just now getting out of that box, and I'm really excited to try more and more and more. So thank you guys so much for the support with this series. I know you guys very much love this series. I love it too. I'm glad that we both love it because guess what? I'm doing more. Of course I'm doing more. And next time I think it would be really, really awesome to cover Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is one of my favorite childhood games of all time, and I would love to turn all of my eras into villagers. I think you guys would really enjoy that too. I've been getting that recommended quite a bit. So don't worry, there are plenty more things I'd like to do. Pokemon is on the list too. There's just so many things to cover and so many fun art styles to mimic. So stay tuned for the next video, and thank you guys so much for enjoying this one. Until next time, bye-bye!